Right, good morning everyone. I'm back in Greenwich for some hard hill reps. Even the dogs don't like hill reps. Yeah, I thought this was a good hill. Generally traffic free, as I say, as a van pulls away. Nice and wide, shady, and relatively challenging. In all honesty, I probably should have found a steeper, harder hill after that 70k ride that I did. I realised that the hills are really my nemesis, and I was struggling on the steeper one. So ideally, I guess I would have found a steeper one. But this is the last hill reps before the actual London to Brighton, which is at the end of next week now, which is going really quickly. I honestly don't think killing myself on some hill that's way too difficult is going to do my body or my mind any good at this stage. So I think this hill was just about right for me. So I'm going to do a bunch of hill reps. One new thing I've got today is I've actually got some new cleats. So after having previously fallen off with the previous cleats because I couldn't unclip, I've discovered something called multi-release clips, or cleats I should say, which I didn't know existed, and kind of feel a bit cheated because I didn't know about them, but these are amazing. In all honesty, they looked exactly like my old cleats, and I doubted that they'd be any different at all. But the difference is that rather than only unclipping if you twist your ankle outwards, you can actually literally just pull your whole foot to the side. In fact, pretty much any motion that's not just a normal pedaling action will allow you to unclip from them. Which is just what I need. And well, why didn't I have these earlier? I do not know, but I've got them now. I've tried them a few times. They feel pretty similar to the old ones. They feel just a little bit looser, and they feel a whole lot easier to unclip, which is really what I was after. So I'm hoping now that I've got the best of both worlds. I've got the clip-in security over rough terrain, and giving me chance to pedal more efficiently, but at the same time I've got the peace of mind and safety aspect of being able to unclip more easily and in perhaps a more natural and intuitive motion. So I'm really pleased about that. Anyway, we'll see how that goes, but I'm stalling now, so I need to get on with these hill reps. So wish me luck, and I'll be back soon. So by the way, if you are interested in the multi-release cleats, and I highly recommend them, even after literally just putting them on half an hour ago, if you're new to clipless pedals, if you've got a mountain bike style SPD like I do, which I think is great for all round, highly recommend these things. I'll put a link in the description below. So yeah, definitely worthwhile if you're feeling a bit unsure, if you're a bit apprehensive about being clipped in, even if you've been using them for a while and you just find it inconvenient or a bit scary, being able to clip in and out. Definitely check these out, they're so much easier. Yeah. Highly recommended. I'll put a link in the description. Wow, so much easier to get unclipped from these pedals. So much easier. Sometimes you come across something and you just think, why didn't I know about this earlier? This would have saved me so much, well, in my case, literal pain. Luckily I wasn't hurt. I'm glad I got into the habit of clipping in and out though, but still, wish I had these from the beginning. I'm not sure how many reps I've done so far. I'm feeling okay. I think after some of the hills on that 70k, this is a pussycat, this one. It's really not that steep, and not super long either. So it's a bit of a cop-out maybe if you're coming here. Whether these hill reps are hard or not, I don't know. But I'm trying to give myself a bit less break in between, and hoping that sort of simulates a longer hill more closely. So last time I was here, I don't think I had these clipless pedals, and I was speculating on what a difference it would make. Given that it's been a number of weeks since I've done this, it's difficult for me to remember because I've got used to having the clipless pedals now, but I think it does allow you to be more efficient. You can more continuously put power through the pedals rather than just always on the downstroke. So that's one difference, and I think the other really obvious difference is just that you've got that security of your foot being on the pedal all the time, because if you're going up a hill, especially if it's a really steep one, sometimes you're really pushing hard on the downstroke, and the pedal that's coming up, your foot can sort of bounce or leave that pedal quite easily. So yeah, it just doesn't feel as secure. So I think that's probably one of the biggest differences. But I'd have to do a proper sort of back-to-back comparison, I guess, which I could do, given that I've got these double-sided pedals. So, in fact, let's do that now, just out of scientific interest. I'm going to use the flat side of the pedals and see how it compares. I suspect that just on a steady effort like this, that's not very steep, probably makes less difference than it would if it was steeper and I was standing and really trying to get a lot of power through the pedals. So, well, I'll give it a try. So this rep, I'm using the flat side of the pedals, and once I get to the top and get my breath back, I'll give you a summary. Already I can feel my feet sliding around. That's partly because these shoes just don't give as much grip on the flat side as normal shoes would. So yeah, it just feels really slippery, feels like my feet are really drifting around the pedal. Well, so I did that rep on the flat side of the pedals, not clipped in, and my feet were drifting all over the place on the pedals. It was hard to get into a rhythm, and sometimes my feet were in the perfect position, to the most comfortable position to get the power down onto the pedal, and many of the times they weren't. And it just sort of breaks up your rhythm, makes it much harder to get into a flow, and that's what you need on the hill. You need that rhythm, that flow, not to be interrupted. So yeah, quite a big difference. Well worth being clipped in, and yeah, well worth having these multi-release cleats. I honestly can't praise them enough. I feel so much happier with these on compared to the previous cleats. I mean, I got used to the previous ones, and I got quite good, but I had to constantly remind myself. Whereas with these, I know, in an emergency, if I panic and forget, I'm going to be able to get myself out of them, and that gives me a lot of peace of mind. It makes me a much happier rider. And a happier rider is definitely a better. Happier, more comfortable, feeling more secure, It's all good. Oh, well, there we go. It worked. Perfect demonstration. I meant to lean to the left. My bike went slightly too far to the right. This has happened before. You panic and try and put your right foot down. You don't have time to remember to twist your heel. And I have had this happen once before with my other cleats, and I did manage to unclip right at the last minute. This time, much easier. So I think that was a perfect example of why these things are fantastic. Shimano, if you're listening, ship these as standard, guys, please, especially on sort of beginner pedal sets. If you're doing super advanced pro road set, you know, pedal set, sure, stick in your standard cleats, but on these type of sort of touring lower end ones, ship the multi-release cleats as standard, please. You'll save a lot of people from embarrassment and injury. Right, I'm going to be clipped in for this one. Yeah, I mean, it's still hard. Having clipless pedals is, it's not like buying an e-bike or something, but that's so much better than trying to ride on the flat side. I think flats are great for mountain biking or something, where you need to have that extra balance and quick reactions, but not for the road. From what I've seen, actually, perhaps a better way to train on here would be to do it more like intervals. So go flat out up this hill and then allow a full 5-6 minutes recovery, and then another flat out effort, as opposed to just this more continuous way that I'm doing it now. But I think maybe it's a bit late to completely change it now. I'm not sure doing that suddenly going to leap my fitness levels up before the end of next week. So I honestly think I'm going to be fine. As I said before, I've got no problem with the distance now, I think. I mean, I'm going to be tired, but I can do the distance. But it's the hills, specifically Dixon Beacon. I think I'm just going to walk it. Last time I came here I did 370 something meters of climbing, so we'll see how I do this time. Hopefully I can improve. On my 70k, I did almost 700 meters of climbing. That was a killer. Being clipped in seems to have a sort of a psychological effect as well. So I do that, I'm clipped in, I want to keep going, I don't want to stop. Seems, yeah, it's kind of interesting. With flat pedals, it's so easy just to stick your foot down, but it's very tempting to do so and just to stop, especially going up a hill. But when you're clipped in, just something in my brain, maybe it's reminding me it's going to be difficult to unclip, and there's a chance I might fall over and look silly, but yeah, it seems to keep me going. I'm not going to keep up with him. That's the difference between a very aero position and a road bike, which is the vaguely aero position, and a gravel bike. Much chunkier tyres. Yeah, so the last few reps, well, I should say the early reps, I was really breathing heavily, and that seemed to be the limiting factor, just trying to get oxygen into my system. Now I'm not having that problem at all. Not having to breathe nearly as heavily. It's almost like, you know, at the beginning I was trying to kick-start my system into this sort of high gear, high oxygen supply. Now it seems to be in that mode. Now the problem I've got is just my muscles really starting to burn and feel very tired. But breathing wise, fine. It's interesting. So this week, actually, you know what? It's so beautiful here. I just got to show you this because I don't know when I'll be back next. But yeah, I just want to show you the view here because it's really cool. They've built so many new buildings. I used to live just near there. Now I moved to the other side of the river, and it really is stunning. Got so much new stuff, and you've got the old Naval College, and then you've got Canary Wharf in the background. It's pretty cool. Shush! She's annoying. Yeah, so you can see Canary Wharf on the right there, and on the left you can see the City of London. It's lovely here. You can even see St Paul's. You might not be able to, but I can. Anyway, so that's been hill reps hard. As far as I know, that's the last hill reps for the Lovers of Brighton training. So not something I'm going to miss, but something I probably should keep up. Went fine, definitely improved on these. I would have felt absolutely wrecked in the past after doing that, but I feel fine now. So it just shows the difference. So yeah, thanks a lot for coming today. I appreciate it. I hope it's inspired you to keep training and maybe do the London to Brighton, if not this year, but next year, so you can see what it's like. And I'll be back soon. So thanks very much. See you soon, bye! Oh no, dogs, no. That was almost a dog disaster. Luckily my dog radar is working quite well.